all of my X-Men fans out there. We are finally having another X-Men movie. X-Men Days of Future Past is finally out. I've seen it. I'm going to tell you guys what I thought about it. First, I'm going to warn you all, if you haven't seen it, do not watch this video. I'm sorry, this is going to be a spoiler review, just because I feel like I need to get everything off my chest. So if you haven't seen it, please go see it first and then come back to me. And if you have seen it, then we could both talk about it together. But Days of Future Past, I have to admit, I was skeptical about it because I felt like it was a clusterfuck. A lot of characters, time jumping, and all that good stuff. But in the back of my head, what time travel means in certain movies is that we're going to abolish certain things that we have done just for the sake of, you know, pleasing us, the fans. And basically, how this movie starts out is we're in the future with the apocalyptic Sentinels, and they're really broken. Actually, they're like the Nimrod Sentinels. The Nimrod, like not Master Mode, the Nimrod ones, or like the Prime ones or some shit. But they're the ones that can adapt to mutant powers and basically absorb the powers of sorts. And so we have a really cool scene with, you know, Bishop and Sunspot and Colossus. You know, everybody reprises their roles. We have some new roles. And, you know, Warpath is there, and, you know, we're basically in a fight scene in a factory, and we're basically, you know, fighting and stuff and doing all that stuff. And then we are learning that Hugh Jackman's the one that can survive the procedure to go back in time to basically help us from reaching that future, which is really good because that's basically what the Days of Future Past storyline was. And, you know, Kitty still does what she does best, and that was, you know, also be a part of the storyline. And just gonna move forward along from that. This movie was really brutal to mutants. Like, if you guys saw it, like the Iceman getting his head knocked off and stepped on thing, the Blink getting like ricocheted, stabbed repeatedly, freaking Warpath, and that was just the first scene in the movie. Like, they are really brutal to mutants. And then we jump in the past. We're in the 70s, you know, disco lights, disco fever, all that good stuff. And we're meeting young Magneto, who can walk, and, you know, young Professor Xavier and Magneto and everybody. We start learning about the future. Magneto doesn't believe him, but as the serum that he's using to walk makes him walk, he loses his powers. So he was like, if you had your powers, you'd be able to tell. And he was like, how'd you know about my powers? And he's like, I know everything about you. We're really good friends. And it's basically Wolverine explaining the future and how he knows him. Forward on to that, a lot of great stuff's happening. Peter Dinklage did great as Bolivar Trask. Me and my friends was calling him Lord Tyrion the whole time. Like, Lord Tyrion, creator of the Sentinels. He did demand a trial by combat. So, what do you guys really expect? I like the design of the Sentinels. I really do. They're like a lot more realistic size versus the giant robots. I would not mind the giant original robots, but if they stuck with these Sentinels, I would not mind it. We basically learn that basically the quarter or 30% of the movie is kill Mystique, because she's the one whose DNA that they use to basically trick the Sentinels to their adaptability, which is not good. So we try and kill Mystique. Doesn't work. We learn killing Bolivar Trask is what skyrockets the future, which we cannot have. So we save him from being killed by Mystique. We try to kill Mystique. Does not work. So now basically we're in the past, and it's not as much of a time jump as I thought it would be. It's more like the future, they're fucked. It's in the future and they're already fucked. We're in the past trying to prevent that. So basically now it's going to the future where we're screwed, basically, and we're basically, like, you know, doing all that stuff, and we're back in the past trying to stop everything. Basically, more seeing that happened, and I really liked how this movie took care of a lot of loopholes and took care of a lot of stuff, and I love the acting from literally everybody. And it's really good how they were able to translate what Days of Future Past is into this movie. We learned a lot of the characters from First Class are dead, quote unquote, like Azazel and Pixie, and I think it said Banshee. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what everybody said on that list, but, you know, Mystique is learning whether she wants to be a killer or whether she's... Basically, Magneto put it perfectly. He's like, are you Charles's Raven or are you Mystique? And so she has that choice of whether she wants to go on and be the ruthless killer or if she still wants to remain with her humanity. Another genius part I loved about the movie was how Magneto was able to control the Sentinels, because we learned early on that they're basically plastic. Not plastic, but they're basically nothing metal is about them. Because they already know about Magneto thanks to Days of Future Past. So, we're going to jump on to that in a second. Quicksilver, I made fun of the costume. I mentioned in that video that I know Evan Peters would do a good job, and damn it did he do a good job. I loved his performance as Quicksilver. I knew he can do it. I just laughed at the costume. I am not gonna lie. It looked hilarious. But now seeing it in full motion, I loved it. I loved how he did. He was hilarious. The only thing that's weird is that they didn't mention that that was his kid. But I guess they're saving that for a rainy day of sorts. He already mentioned, my mom knew someone that liked to play with metal. And I'm like, oh Christ. Oh crap. There goes that reference. So I guess I got what I wanted. But, you know, Quicksilver was what he was. He was smart alecky, he was funny, he was running around, taking advantage of his powers and everything, and they broke Magneto out, and in really good fashion. And then we find out that Magneto took control of the Sentinels by taking control of the train. He was on the train that they were on. He took the train tracks, took them up, made them really small, injected the metal into them, which made them his, which is another ingenious thing of this story. And, you know, the part from the trailer where he lifts up the stadium and he's basically like, you know, I really wish that, I was hoping for this, but it was like one of those long shot things that was probably never going to happen. But I was hoping that they were going to either make him say or rework his famous line from the classic X-Men arcade games. It's like, I am Magneto, welcome to die. And I'm like, if they would have made him say that, I would have jumped out of my seat, because that was so good. The comedy in this movie is really well done and really well written. When Wolverine's in the past, he doesn't have the adamantium because he's still bone claws, and he walks through a metal detector and he's like, but nothing happens. So he was like, oh, this is what this feels like. And he was so happy because he already thought of a lie, he was going to fight somebody and all that stuff. And I like how it was basically Wolverine doing for him what Charles did for him, and it was teaching him that he could be more, and that he could be more, and that he has to be more for the struggles that are up ahead. Magneto was great for what he is. You know, he wanted to show that, you know, mutants are the more superior species, until Charles and Mystique came in and saved everything. And now we've saved the future. I liked the movie a lot. I really did. Any doubts that I had are now thrown out the window. Big kudos to the original cast being mentioned. Rogue was in the movie after all, which is really good. All the people are back. Famke's back, which means Phoenix is back in the movies, finally. I'm back in the movies. I'm so excited for that. But I loved it. I really did. I like this movie. You guys should see it. I really did like it. And I'm just astounded that we finally have an X-Men movie, and it's a good one. And stay for the credits, because damn it, you know you should, because it's a Marvel movie. Because they show Apocalypse, because that's the next one. It's X-Men Apocalypse, which I don't think will be major Apocalypse. I think it'll be pre-game Apocalypse, which means they'll probably bring back the First Class cast for that. But other than that, really great movie, great action. Again, brutal to mutants. In the future scene, Storm got stabbed, Bishop got exploded, Colossus got split in half, Sunspot lost an arm and he got the shit beat out of him, Blink got stabbed repeatedly, and they burned Bobby to death again. And it's just, damn. This movie was really brutal to mutants, and I felt bad. Because I was like, oh shit, can we fix this future? This future's really bad. Like, damn, I don't know what to feel about this. But you guys should see it. Honestly and truly, I liked it. I loved the experience. And any doubts that I have are now thrown out the window. Because Bryan Singer has renewed my faith, and I always knew he can do it, and this proved it. Hopefully now I'll get a good Dark Phoenix Saga movie. I feel they owe me that. But enough about what I thought. What did you guys think? Please comment down below and let me know what you thought, or what you were expecting, or anything you expected that didn't happen. I can't wait to talk about it and hear your comments. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, and comment, rate, and subscribe, and share all your awesome friends the great experience that is my channel. I'm always here with weekly content, and always remember, through good times and bad times, always remember to geek out and enjoy your lives. And I'm going to catch you guys next time with more great content.